Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And today I will be talking about a fragrance that is pretty high on the hype meter. Pretty much the most hyped fragrance from this brand or this house. And I'm sure a lot of y'all want to find out what my thoughts are on this fragrance. Irrespective of the hype, today I'll go over the juice itself, what my thoughts are on this fragrance, and is it really worth all the hype? Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel, especially that we are headed towards 21,000 subscribers. Again, thank you so much for all your support, guys, over the past 3 years. I really appreciate you guys liking, sharing, commenting, and telling all your friends about the channel. Thank you very much. And the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir. Yes, Hard Candy Elixir, guys. Look at this. This sample is almost donezo. It's on its last legs. Pretty much I left some just for the review right here as I spray it, but definitely I have been wearing this fragrance for a minute, guys. Now, Terence Hughes, what can I say? What he built is pretty amazing. I am actually one of the earliest reviewers of Terence Hughes fragrances. I mean, if you guys do a search on the playlists, I do have a lot of his early work. Matter of fact, I even have some of his discontinued fragrances before the brand really took off, guys. So I'm pretty familiar with the style of Terence Hughes. He does make a lot of fragrances that we can say are mainstream appealing, but are also appealing for those that are into more niche or differentiated perfumes, guys. And right now, I would say the big difference from now versus then is that the availability of his fragrances is pretty much, different now. Now, I don't know if it's really an increase in demand or that's really his master plan making his fragrances really scarce, or it's governmental regulations or difficulty shipping out of the UK. But this factor, I would say this one is a really big factor as to why a lot of his fragrances are hyped, guys, okay? It is very difficult, at least here in America, to get a bottle of Hard Candy Elixir and his other fragrances as well. They're almost always sold out, even on the UK website. And so, yeah, this is a huge factor into all the hype. And of course, this is basic economics, supply and demand. You cut the supply, you've got raging demand for the product, guys. Now, the thing is, though, when it comes to Terence Hughes fragrances, when it comes to decants at least, these are easy to get. Okay, when it comes to procuring the bottle, there are other people that, that's their business to get the bottle. My business is to get a sample, and there are tons available, guys. So the hype train really didn't get to me. To me, I'm here to review the juice itself, irrespective of that supply chain issue. And, I'm going to review this as if Terence Hughes was available in Macy's or Sephora or any other outlet of fragrances, because like I said, I did not have a hard time getting this. Anyways, let's review Hard Candy Elixir. Let's go spray this thing right now. This sample is on its last legs. It's almost gone. Okay, guys, now let's talk about Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir, the no hype review right here, guys. Now, right here in the opening, you are going to get the following notes. You're going to get lemon, mandarin orange, sweet orange, mint, and lavender. Now, let me tell you guys that this opening is characterized by many as the one that smells pretty much like Jean-Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. Now, again, I am not a designer expert. I don't go through these fragrances and flankers. To me, a lot of them do smell the same. But I will say this, that this intro right here of Hard Candy Elixir definitely matches one of the designer scents, probably ultra male, because this is your common combination of basically citrus and mandarin orange mixed with your aromatic uplifting lavender with a hint of mint right here, which I can definitely smell. Again, giving that designer-ish intro. So that definitely I can confirm that the intro of this fragrance is, kind of designer-ish, smells like, one of these designer scents out there, as reported by many. Now, this intro right here will definitely appeal to those that love designer fragrances or those that appreciate such fragrances, because you've got your typical mix of sweet, slightly spicy, uplifting, lemony here in this intro, very much like a lot of designer fragrances. So this is definitely, I would say, a mainstream lovable intro. But the thing about this intro that I love is the early appearance of vanilla, and it does appear as early as 5 minutes into this fragrance. It changes everything, guys. And for those that have tried this fragrance, I'm sure you can definitely appreciate that intro of vanilla, early vanilla coming in, because it sets the stage for what I think is the coolest part of this fragrance, which is the mid. Okay, guys, now let's go into the mid of Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir, guys. Now, the intro, yes, it was nice, but, stuff like that doesn't really impress me so much. I mean, I can understand, the mainstream appeal of the intro of Hard Candy Elixir, but really, the mid is the amazing part of this fragrance. I mean, to me, the mid is my favorite part of Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir. And again, everything begins once the vanilla blankets in as early as 5 minutes into the fragrance. And this displays how Aaron can basically do both worlds. He can go into mainstream appealing straight into somewhat of a niche type fragrance, guys, and this is exactly what happens here. Right here in the early mid of this fragrance, to me, is when the magic happens. And like I told you guys on my previous videos, I'm the type of person that I don't want the magic to happen near the end. I want to get the best stuff in a fragrance from the get-go, and this is the early mid right here. Right here in the early mid, you're going to get the notes of that early vanilla, the tonka, as well as that honey, creating basically this sort of milk chocolate accord, guys. At least that's how it smells to me. And I remembered fragrances like Aurum, which has strawberry and chocolate, as well as La Capitale by Serjoff. It's just an amazing combination of gourmand and the eventual strawberry that comes in. And, the strawberry is a continuity note basically from the mandarin and the lemon. But once that joins this milk chocolate accord smell, I mean, it's basically chocolate covered strawberries, guys. And that is, to me, as the wearer of the fragrance, really, I felt amazing, because you have this warming, creamy blanket that's chocolatey, and then you have the smell of strawberries, guys. To me, this is the most amazing part of the fragrance. Also, the most complimented. Once I wore this around people, this is when I was complimented the most, guys. More than the intro of this fragrance. This part is a wow. And if you like this intro, congratulations. You actually like unisex, niche-like fragrances, because this is not mainstream. Creating this out of these notes, which are actually separately smelled. Like, you can actually smell the honey separately. You can smell the tonka separately. But all together, masterfully blended, you've got that chocolatey, kind of like milk chocolate aroma right here with the strawberries. Again, an amazing wow into this fragrance. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the big reason why a lot of y'all really like this fragrance. Now, here in the mid as well, there's a few transitions, guys. Amber eventually replaces the strawberry, I would say like 4 hours in. Like I told you guys, this is the longest stage of the fragrance. The mid actually lasts a good 5 hours. And, that really is great if you love the mid like me. Deep into the mid, you've got the spice of nutmeg that I would say is a nice continuity from the slight spicy lavender of the intro. However, the nutmeg, as you know, gives some sort of like a sweet, spicy, cinnamony type of appeal right here that mixes in, blends in perfectly with that milk chocolate accord type smell. So it doesn't really disrupt that, okay? So you are going to get still that creamy, chocolatey vibe, and then you've got the slight spice of nutmeg, which is again perfect. It does increase the draw-in, sexy, dark appeal of the fragrance. And then on the latter part of the mid, which is 4 hours later, that's when the strawberry kind of fades away and you've got amber to really replace the sweetness of that strawberry, guys. But nevertheless, like I said, this is a long stage, 5 hours of this mid for you to enjoy that creamy chocolate, that sweetness of strawberry cutting through it that becomes amber, and then also that nutmeg spice. Very appealing, very draw-in, very sexy. I guess it also signals in the darkness of this fragrance as it is an elixir, but man, this is the best part for me. Okay guys, now let's go into the Drydown of Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir. Right here in the Drydown, guys, you've got some patchouli, you've got some Thai oud, you've got some ambergris, you've got some musks, you've got this really interesting note, accord that is a narcotic. That's the name of it. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is really, but it's added in here. And let me just tell you guys how I felt about this Drydown. Now, the Drydown, to me, it really started spicy. And I guess that's that nutmeg bridge into that patchouli. But the patchouli right here in the Drydown of Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir is pretty prominent. I would say it's a sharp patchouli, guys. And it is mixed in with some musks, some woods, as well as that really nice Thai oud, guys. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, what's up with that? You know, what's up with the Thai oud? Now, Thai oud historically is an earthy, smoky, sweet type of oud, okay? For me, when I smell Thai oud, I think sweet. And really, guys, when you mix this oud with patchouli, you have a chocolatey type oud, and it does have a certain sweetness to it. But it's also oud, so it has some leathery, earthy facets that really make it oud. However, you mix that and you have that chocolatey oud. So there is some continuity from that milk chocolatey mid into a chocolatey oud here in the Drydown, guys. So there's definitely some continuity, some slight sweet continuity here. But again, this is really where the darker tones come in because you have the gradient of musk. Some sensual musks do come in here. And again, with that sharpness of patchouli, guys. Now, one thing I like as well here is where it gets slightly woody with some sandalwood. And I could actually smell the creaminess of sandalwood here in the Drydown. Pretty much, again, a continuity from the vanilla. But really, I felt like this Drydown was spicy. There's definitely some spices here in the Drydown. Maybe that's from the blank accord, plus the sharpness of patchouli that made it this spicy gradient elixir Drydown. And really, this Drydown for me, I felt like it was its own stage, okay? Like the way that it was, I felt like this was like a mid of another fragrance, you know? And that's another highlight of Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir. The Drydown in its own is its own, thing, like you have the milk chocolate, creamy, covered strawberries here in the mid, but then the Drydown is spicy, gradient, dark, sexy. And, I thought about some, hormone enraged ending to the night, really spicy. If it goes to the sheets, I feel like this is that part that will really get everything going. It is a sexy nighttime Drydown without a doubt, guys. Again, the oud is not like an animalic oud. It mixes in as a continuity note of chocolatey oud, but then there's that patchouli, there's that spice that really makes this Drydown interesting and sexy. It's a nice ending right here. Okay, now let's talk about the performance of this fragrance. Now, the first part of this fragrance, initial sillage and projection, is going to be a lingering draw-in scent. And of course, this is one of those fragrances that's made for them to get drawn in. From the spicy lavender and the mandarin in the beginning, same as the way your typical designers would draw in people, but then that milk chocolate, strawberry blanket plus nutmeg, that's really the the ultimate draw-in right there. So it is a lingering draw-in scent. Total performance, I'm gonna say though, is that this fragrance is a long-lasting fragrance. But the one thing I'll say is that the dry down of this fragrance is not weak. For me, total performance of this fragrance was over 12 hours, but then I could still smell it consistently. Like I said, the dry down was like a mid of another fragrance in terms of the intensity and strength. It is not a dry down that just goes away into little whiffs here and there. The dry down was prominent, guys, okay? So over 12 hours total performance on this fragrance. And with that being said, I can really see why this juice is beloved by many guys, okay? This fragrance, like I said, as a guy that collects and smells a lot of fragrances, this is pretty damn awesome. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say this will not be for everyone because there is that switch in the mid, guys, okay? I would say first part and last part is pretty identifiable, mainstream identifiable, but the chocolate covered strawberries is going to be a hit or miss in my opinion. Some people will like it, some people won't. I really loved it though, okay? Now, let me tell you, this fragrance, the big selling point of Hard Candy Elixir is differentiation. And there are some collectors of fragrances that just collect the same old things, but for me, I'm big on that. Like, I actually look at what's different in every fragrance. Of course, these things go in a circle. You'll get the same like trends back again, like La Capitale and Aurum coming back again in chocolate covered strawberries. But this fragrance has its own differentiation, guys. Again, you've got a mainstream lovable intro. You've got the milk chocolate covered strawberries with a little bit of nutmeg spice. And then you've got that spicy, sexy elixir dark dry down of this fragrance. And you can't lose because you've got three really appealing portions of this fragrance, with some being mainstream and being kind of common, but then really from the mid to the end, you've got some nice differentiation right here. So if you're looking for something different, something of a secret weapon type of fragrance, this is definitely it. Now, this fragrance right here, Hard Candy Elixir, was inspired by a night of partying that Aaron had in Mexico, guys, okay? Now, for me, this fragrance is date night, okay? This is probably one of the best date night fragrances, I mean, in terms of sensation, that I can say right here. Not only will it boost your confidence, because you've got a lot of really great, appealing, creamy draw-in notes that's perfect for date night, but it's also made as a nighttime perfume. So you have this progression of gradient, fade to black, go in the sheets, sexy ending. And so, I mean, what can I say? It is really a very potent date night fragrance, guys, but it is also unisex. To me, this fragrance can be worn by both guys, girls, and anybody in between, anyone who wants to take advantage of these really potent, lovable parts of this fragrance, guys. So it's very, very unisex. Again, nighttime for me, any weather, because really you don't have too many warming notes. There are dark notes, yes, but there are some sharp notes that really cut through those notes, if that makes sense, guys. So I would say that this is anytime, anywhere, very, very versatile fragrance that is somewhat of a secret weapon fragrance, guys. I think this is definitely a winner. Try this fragrance. If you can't get a bottle, like I said, the juice is available everywhere. Okay, all you have to do is Google it. Just go to Google and type in Hard Candy Elixir sample, and you can get up to 10 mLs of this fragrance. You won't have to get the full bottle, but you can understand, I mean, why a lot of people want a full bottle of this, because it is truly full bottle worthy. There is a standalone aspect of this fragrance that it doesn't smell like other fragrances. Like I said, the ultra male intro is short and sweet. The moment the vanilla kicks in, as well as the other milk chocolatey notes come in, it's game over. It's done. I mean, this switches into a nice niche type fragrance, guys. Okay, so I definitely recommend it. Try it, and it is full bottle worthy. And that is it. That is my no hype review on Terence Hughes Hard Candy Elixir. Definitely a great fragrance that anyone can wear to basically boost your attractiveness. Okay, you want to boost your attractiveness? This is definitely a fragrance that can do that. Again, mainstream appealing, price is awesome, and so what can I say? It is definitely a winner, guys. And let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance, guys. Was this a hit or a miss for you? And what was your favorite part of this fragrance? Was it the ultra male type intro, the mid, which I love the most, Or was it that sexy, dark, alluring Drydown, guys? The spicy patchouli Drydown? Let me know on the comments below. I would love to know. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on my next days off. I got some amazing fragrances to talk about. Please continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless. Take care. Peace.